Today, we've got a strategy-filled episode with tips on launch, Etsy, Amazon, and Walmart ranking, press articles, and much more. Make sure to stay to the end for some of the most juicy 30-second tips that we've had. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. How can you get more buyers to leave you Amazon product reviews? By following up with them in a way that's compliant with Amazon terms of service. You can use Helium 10 follow-up in order to automatically send out Amazon's request a review emails to any customers you want. Not just that, but you can specify when they get the message and even filter out people that you don't want to get that message, such as people who have asked for refunds or maybe ones that you gave discounts to. For more information, visit h10.me/follow-up. You can sign up for a free account or you can sign up for a platinum plan and get 10% off for life by using the discount code SSP10. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And from the other side of the world, live from Romania, we've got Alina back on the show for the third time. How's it going, Alina?
Hi, Bradley. Nice to be here. Thank you for the invite. It's going well, let's say.
All right, now we're not going to go too much into Alina's backstory. My editor here gave me notes where you guys can actually get this on the other times that she was on the podcast. So check out episodes 122, guys, and 267. So 122 and 267, you can learn all about Alina's Amazon selling journey and some of her other endeavors that she's been doing. But right here, we're just going to hop right into things. I have so many things I'm thinking of. I want to ask. I hope we have enough time to get through them all. But just first of all, let me just ask you about your, apart from all the other million things you do and million companies you seem to be involved with these days, you're also an Amazon seller at the end of the day, Helium 10 Elite member, just like, the rest of us. How's your Amazon business been doing the last, it's been way over a year since I talked to you last on the podcast, but how's it been going?
It's been going very well, considering the amount of time I put into that, because as you said, I'm involved in many things, too many, I think. It's been going well, growing. We're way over 7 figures, 2 brands, stable, constantly launching new products. Well, or trying to, because this Q4 I had like 6 new products I couldn't launch because of the restock limits. Everybody's familiar with that. Other than that, I'm still testing a lot of stuff.
And how about Walmart?
Walmart has been down for the most part of the year because there we had some seasonal products, but now it's back up and it's doing very well, actually.
Okay. Awesome. That's good to hear. Have you launched on any other platforms outside of Amazon, Walmart, like, for example, Shopify or anything like that?
No, not yet.
Okay. Etsy?
Etsy, I used to until I got my account shut down a couple of months ago.
What was it? One of those things where they're like saying your products don't qualify to be Etsy products or something like that?
Exactly. And I tried everything, but seems like I cannot open it again. It's like gone blank.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
One
of my products that happened to me. So I'm not sure if somebody reported me, but I mean, it's definitely more, I mean, it's made in China, but it's still handmade. It's made by somebody's hands, like come on, guys, doesn't matter where it's manufactured in, should qualify. All right. Okay. So Amazon is doing well for you. Walmart is doing well. What has been something you've learned, or like maybe you accidentally had some success on Amazon or Walmart, or purposely, like you implemented something and man, it really made a difference? Anything like that you can think of that's happened in the last year?
Yes. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last time, but it's been a while. So I was just starting doing that, and it has proven to work very well. So my products are on Amazon, one of the brands in industrial and scientific category, and it's like packs of 10 or packs of 20 pieces in a box. So I realized that many people were buying more than just one box. So I created, for each of the best-selling 5 SKUs or 6 SKUs, let's say, I created 3 or 4 variations, like packs of 50, packs of 100, packs of 200, all of them FBM fulfilled, because if you were to send them in FBA, then profit margins wouldn't be that great. And I was just looking on some reports. Okay, going back, besides that, after a couple of months I started combining them because they kind of work together. You know, if you buy one, you may need the other one at one point, the other product. So I just like virtual bundles, but they were self-standing listings, FBM, and all combined under parent asins on Amazon. And I was just looking on some reports the other day. It's been 19% of the sales on Amazon go through among all those FBM, which is kind of cool. I think it's
Huh. 19%.
19. Yes,
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I've been saying that, for years. Hey guys, do FBM. But like for me, the reason why I say do FBM is you can get at least 2 to 3% in my experience, at it. So that's interesting. Sometimes you can get you even a lot more. So that's
because
that's
the
that's
value
good to know.
when you do packs like that, the value is
Yeah.
higher. You know, there are some of them are $100 or $150 for per specific product. So if you, yeah, percentage
Also,
wise,
so like on the revenue side,
on the
it's the
revenue side,
19%. Okay. Okay.
rev-
Interesting. Very good. Very good. Now, let's go ahead and hop right into some different strategies. You know, um, you know, I think everybody who's been listening to you from before knows you as Alina from AZ Rank. And we're going to talk about some other endeavors you've been doing lately. But um, tell me about the day that the announcement came out. Before, uh, you know, did you have a heart attack, or
no.
did you and your husband like contemplate going to a mountain to meditate to kind of ease your worries, or what was your thought process when Amazon was like no more search find buy in the traditional sense?
It was very funny, actually. I don't know if you remember. I was in LA. I was at the Helium 10 workshop, and at the moment I saw the post, I was in an Uber driving from Irvine to downtown LA for a meeting, and I was like, seriously, 9 a.m. in the morning, and you're coming with this? What
Yeah,
joke is this? But no, it was true. It's been 1 year now, or 1 year, one full year, and I have to admit, very honestly, that change for us turned things into better. Our campaigns are working better because all the other things that we do on top of that. So then I was like terrified. Now I'm happy. I think it's okay. It's been
yeah,
okay.
okay, yeah, and I've used, I've talked about it on the show, multiple times, how AZ Rank
I,
works. Nowadays it's like, hey guys, like you can't just tell people to go search, find, and buy stuff, but you've got to do different things, and so one thing that you guys do, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a few months since I've used the service, but it is like you don't even force them to use a certain keyword, but like what you do
right.
is like you say, hey, which keyword would you use to find this kind of product, just to see a general Amazon buyers buying habits, and sometimes they even pick like their own keyword,
Your
to
own
use.
keyword.
Is
Correct.
that right?
Yes, correct. And on
Okay.
top of
And oh, go ahead.
market research, a lot of market research, which for the actual process of purchasing seems to be very important.
Yeah, like that was what I really liked, about it is, hey, all right, you got this keyword, whether they picked one of the ones that you thought it would be or not. Now it's like, probably some of your main competitors are on there, and then they give you some feedback on based on like, hey, how does it look in the search results? The main image, the price point, the title. Hey, click into some of the competitors' listings, and then compare it to mine. What gets at you at the bullet points and stuff, and you get all this kind of insight. Where back in the old days, all we did was like, all right, Alina, I need 7 purchases over 8 days for this keyword, and boom, get it done. And in a sense, that was kind of the good old days. Really easy to get to page one, but there was nothing really that could help you make your listing get better or your strategy get better. But now, since you've changed your format to kind of like this survey thing, and it's almost like Helium 10 audience or PickFu, except like on steroids. here. So, I know my personal experiences with it, but what about on your side? Like any customers' experiences, as you know, you don't have to say their product or anything, where where somebody went through that process with AZ Rank and then they got some like crazy thing input from a customer that they never would have realized, and they changed, they acted on it, and it really worked out well for them. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot here, but can you think of anything like that recently?
Yes, no, it's okay because it happens quite often. I mean, I don't have something that like explosive, or at least I don't know of something that explosive. But the feedback is, wow, I never thought of this kind of use for my product. I didn't know this, that people actually use this product for this, because we ask them like, what other uses do with would you do with this product, for example? What other ways would you use it to? Sorry. And then something else is the packaging. The packaging ideas are um, very creative. Like the craziest
To
things that
talk about that for a second. So
okay.
are you talking about like, so maybe they get the package and then they give their input on, hey, I would have made this packaging differently. Is that what you're talking about, or?
Yes, that's the second part of the survey we
Ah,
do after they receive, and they say, "Hey, besides the fact that it came broken, this wasn't good. This blah blah blah. You know, all kind of
sure.
that. I would do this. How about you do this?" Or you know, creative ways of putting that into practice, basically changing. Yes, so it was the packaging. The packaging ideas can be some of the most creative ones that I've seen, and for the one of the most boring, some of the most boring products out there. Um, People are just into it. People love to be a part of something. Love to commit.
All right. So, the traditional search, find, buy, as we know for Amazon, not something we should do. But correct me if I'm wrong, but like Walmart, Etsy, other websites, like there's nothing in their terms of service against traditional search, find, buy, right?
That's correct. Yes, there isn't.
Okay, good, because I just hit you up last week to do one on Etsy, and so I just making sure. Now the reason, guys, why I hit up AZ Rank for this was, I've had the Project X coffin shelf on Etsy for a while, and usually we're like the top selling coffin shelf. But then I noticed sales were down a lot, and then I looked in the search results, and the weirdest thing, like there's not even that many coffin shelves on Etsy. We got pushed all the way to page 3 on Etsy. So I hit you up, and then what, like how many did you actually do for search, find, buy on Etsy with the hopes of it going up? What was it, like 10 or 5, or what did you do?
Six, but it was down. Was it hit page one down bottom after four.
Let's go ahead and take a look here. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Let's on Etsy now. Let's do coffin shelf. This was literally just days ago that we did this. And there it is, right there, right on the. By the way, I'm gonna kick this guy off. This guy's copying our pictures and everything, but I'm not really that concerned about it because it it's like $47, but some people are so ridiculous. But here we are, right there on the top of page one. Um, excellent, excellent. So boom, that actually worked well with only six units. We were able to get to the top of page one. So AZ Rank is still working the traditional way for search, find, buy, and sometimes that might happen, guys. You should check. There's no keyword tracker, or maybe there's keyword tracker out there. I don't know. But Helium 10 doesn't have a keyword tracker for Etsy, but check if your Etsy sales are down, check your main keywords and see if you've dropped in rank, or if you're trying to launch a product and you just can't seem to get on page one by yourself. Alina might be able to help with that. And then on Walmart, how is it working for launch? Like, what's your strategy with AZ Rank or for your own products for getting to page one on Walmart?
Well, it's kind of the Amazon's old days, PPC and search find buy together. Um, it still works very well, even if Walmart is changing their stuff like crazy. Like every day, something new is happening. Right now, they're very focused on the creatives, like the A+ content. They're starting to show videos on some listings I have on my products, videos, and has been a tremendous increase in sales for those products. um, and also, uh, uh, something that I learned from my experience, w- wait a little bit. I mean, whatever you do, even if you do search find buy, even if you do PPC, just wait a little bit until you see actually the needle moving. Either you
Mhm.
check it manually or with keyword tracker, because Walmart's algorithm is very different than Amazon. In Amazon, you can see it like in 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. In Walmart, might take even 10 days. I had a situation or two, actually. So just be a little patient, and then you'll get there. You'll see the ranks.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Now, speaking of coffin shelf, I haven't even checked what's going on with the coffin shelf on Walmart, so I might need to do that. But on Amazon, I've talked about this before, where it seems like it's been shadow banned from getting to the top of page one on coffin shelf. Like, we're still one of the top coffin shelves, but it's almost because of our sponsored placements, and we're very high up there for top rated products or whatever that other sponsored section is. But for organic, we just cannot get beyond like position 12, 10 to 12 and we stay around 15. So one thing you had said right before we were on this call was that sometimes there's something in the back end of a listing that could be affecting rank. Did I understand that correctly?
Correct. Yes. In the invisible backend, let's say, in the flat file.
In the flat file. All right. So I'm going to share my screen for those watching this on YouTube. And why don't we walk everybody through downloading the flat file and then what to look for? And who knows, maybe this is not, we're not going to find something on this. And I would say probably not, we're not, but who knows? But maybe somebody else out there, if you are on a keyword where you've traditionally were on the top of page one, and you're getting conversions in PPC, and you're converting for it, you can tell from brand analytics, you can tell from search query performance, and then you just can't get your organic rank back up. This would be something to look at. All right, so here I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully you can see. All right, so I'm in Seller Central. Where do I go?
Inventory. No, reports. Sorry, it's changed and it's blurry.
Reports,
Reports, inventory reports,
reports, inventory reports. Okay,
inventory reports. Yes. And then you should have, check if you have on the drop down category listing report.
I do.
Okay. Then
All right.
hit that. Wait a little bit and then download.
So select category. I don't need to do that. Just all, and then
Oh yeah.
select report format. I hit Excel.
So yes.
Okay, and listings created after. Do I need to do that or just leave it
No,
blank?
leave
Leave
it
it
blank.
blank. Select status filter all, and then request report.
Yes.
Okay, I hit request report. Is this pretty fast?
There
All
you go.
right, so it's downloaded. So now I go ahead and hit download, and then let me open it up in Excel.
Yes.
All right, that was
Please
fairly
don't
fast.
freak out.
We'll take this out. I don't know what this INF file couldn't be opened. All right, so hold on. We'll just edit all this out here. Let's open, browse, and we want downloads, category listing report, open. Okay, so I got it. I got that Excel file opened here. So now what's the next step?
Now we have to find the product that we need to look at, because this is basically your whole catalog. And I very much recommend to everyone out there, just download this report once a month, because it's basically your full backup of your whole catalog. In just, it took, you saw how long it took, 5 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So our coffin shelf, I know it should be
Maybe.
FBA. Let me find that here. Dash FBA dash coffin. All right, here it is. All right, I have FBA dash coffin here. It's line 15. So now what?
Now you have to go to the right,
Okay.
cell by cell. I mean, yeah, here in this information, you won't have much to look at. It's basically your product description, it's
Okay.
your key product features. But however, I do see that you have a lot of empty empty cells, and you shouldn't
Yes.
have that. As many cells filled in as possible helps
Well,
you.
yeah, that's to protect your listing from other people going and doing crazy things in other marketplaces, right?
And for ranking,
And
I
for ranking.
yes, I mean, if you, I cannot give you proof. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like the you do, but I've seen working on my SKUs, and it's the same. They're all in the same category, and I see when I work on one which is very similar to the other, the one that I work on is always gaining rank because I hold on, stop over there. The green, it's called
Okay, uh-huh.
discovery. So these fields I always, but absolutely always recommend to keyword stuff them. Target audience,
Well, what does
well, no,
this mean though that it's all gray? It's all grayed
no,
out. That doesn't mean anything?
it's try to type in something. Does it work? No.
Yes.
Yes, it works. Okay, so sometimes when they're gray, you are not allowed to change because there is
Okay.
something, I don't know, whatever, Amazon, from that field. But if you're allowed to type something in, that means you can change. And now they're gray because you don't have something um,
Okay.
already.
Yeah, I think some of these are actually available even in the front end. You could
Yes,
do, but I just have them blank, in there.
exactly. Some of them are, and you have them
Yeah.
blank, which is
Okay.
not good. So you have to, for example, target audience, other attributes, those you can put keywords. I usually use phrase keywords. So the phrase form of the keyword, the full keyword, even if that means repeating some words. But that's the way I
Okay.
do it. Some people maybe, I don't know, just like to put words, but for me it worked this way. Platinum keywords, just leave them blank. Those are the only ones we don't fill in.
Yep, yep.
But besides that, everything should be in. B- Amazon actually tells you, if you look, these green cells are all tied together under the name discovery. So these are the ones that help buyers discover your product on Amazon. Kind of makes sense, right?
All right.
Look, additional features. I mean, you can put here some of these. I started testing at one point, right when we you discovered there was something that it was showing right below the title. It's
Yes, yes.
well, there are
That is
others,
called my mind is blank right now, but yeah,
mine
yes.
too, but you know what I'm
Special
talking
special
about.
features, special features. Yes.
Exactly. And I at one point I discovered something else, but it was I also don't remember right now, but and it was like category specific. For one category worked, for other didn't. But if you're playing with it, or if you have a VA that does this for you, it's a pity to leave them blank. Honestly, for example, some of these like length range, fill material, shaft type, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, doesn't You don't have anything to fit that, to fill in that actually fits. For those, I just put NA just to be safe.
NA, okay.
NA.
Speed unit of measure. Yeah, I don't think a coffin shelf has a speed unit of measure or torque,
Torque. I don't
here.
know what
Number
torque.
of teeth. What in the world? Number of teeth. What is this? All right, so I'm still going. Is stain resistant? Like there's so
Yes,
many
a
different
lot.
fields in here.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Is
Um,
autographed. Maybe we should autograph each coffin shelf. We
you
can try
should.
that. Okay, occasion type. I'm just scrolling through for those who are, listening to this on the podcast. I'm just scrolling through all of these million fields in this flat file here. Now, what are we looking for?
We're looking for some compliance. Some compliance fields. I don't know because it's category specific and it's different all the time. But the name, so the number 1 and 2, where it says now theme or season of the product, should be something to compliance related. I
But
had
but
some.
what are we looking for? Even if we find that which would might indicate that there's something wrong. Like if there is something filled out in the compliance, then that's where there's something wrong.
Let me explain for a little bit. So if you have a product
Uh
like
huh.
the cotton shelf, which you don't need any type of certificate for, because you don't,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
don't need any, I don't know, FDA, CPC, BSC, whatever. Then those should be completely blank.
Okay.
Completely blank. Not NA, not anything in there. Completely blank. I had some friends with a pet product, and they discovered after I insisted a lot to send me the flat file to look through it, they have
Uh-huh.
some information there. It wasn't anything bad. It was just some random words saying something. I don't remember, but just some random words. And then when she called Amazon, Amazon confirmed that their listing had been attacked, and their ranking was like a roller coaster. Couldn't stabilize with anything. When they took that out and Amazon fixed it, now it's doing amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I doubt that. That's why I didn't think that this happened to me, but it's important that other people might, like nobody's gonna attack a coffin shelf that sells 5 units a day, but this is good for people to know how to look. So, like, here's some compliance fields. It says
Yes,
legal compliance.
exactly.
So all of these should be blank.
Blank.
And then if somebody downloads the report and they see something here, they should
Start
they
looking.
should delete it and then re-upload this to Amazon or what?
Yes, that's the first step. But sometimes compliance fields may not work, may not get approved. Sometimes Amazon blocks those. So if you have something in there, you cannot further change it. So you
Oh,
might
okay.
have to call seller support and pray for your um, success. And it goes on and on.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, Alina, this strategy is serious strategies for serious sellers. Praying, while I enjoy praying a lot, I do not pray for Amazon things. I do not think that's a very serious
oh,
strategy.
just kidding. Praying to have wishing, let's say, wishing to
Oh,
have
here's a whole bunch more. Here's a whole bunch more
oh yeah, those were the
compliance regulation
those,
type.
there was this
Lots of different things. So what you're saying is somebody went in and did that to these people. Like,
exactly.
interesting. Okay, so this is a good thing that all of mine are blank, right?
Yes, it's a good thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna scroll over just to make sure.
But everything is blank on your list.
Yeah, everything is blank. Again, like for me, this is not best practice. I know, we've talked about on the podcast how,
Yes,
it's best to have everything filled out. Then that makes it harder for other people to attack your listing. But for coffin shelf, I didn't figure that it's that important because who's
correct.
going
Yes,
who's going to attack a coffin shelf listing. All right, we got to the end, so it looks like I'm good, but there you go. There's something, guys, that you can check out in your flat file. If you see some issues with the ranking, you make sure that nobody has added some weird things to your compliance fields. Have you ever heard of anything else that has you know fixed issues with people kind of being shadow punished or shadow banned on ranking?
the title length, which I think you know already and talked about it, the 150 characters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The category, but I think you have it. Sometimes it just disappears and you're not having any BSR. That hasn't been happening a lot lately. Other than that, honestly, no.
Now let's talk a little bit about something we've never talked about, you and me at least. One of your endeavors you've been doing, your new endeavors, is a company called Press X. And tell me first of all how you discovered that this, that press and media and things really helps an Amazon listing. Like how did you discover this? Was just from your networking and meeting people, or did you try something yourself and it worked, or how did you get turned on to this kind of strategy?
Kind of both. Um, Networking and somebody who had tried it, not me personally at that point, but I got so much into it because it was my thing with the ranking and also Amazon's things with the latest thing with the external traffic that is so valuable and it's a must have basically in Amazon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So just tell me how. Why don't you tell us how this concept works? Like, not necessarily. I mean, obviously, it's what you guys do, but just in general. I mean, this is not something that only you guys can do. But obviously, you would help with it. But what is this concept of getting press for Amazon products? 'Cause we're not talking about press releases. We've talked about that on the podcast before. But
Mhm.
what part of media or what part of press are we talking about? Give us an example.
So it's a product review in press. Okay, so it's an article talking about your product. Um, is why is it good? Why is it bad? If it is, but they won't say bad stuff. So basically, an extended review with photos, with sometimes even some of your other products from the brand mentioned in there, or it can be also about your brand, but in detail. Okay, so it's not like an announcement, like a press release, an announcement, hey, this brand has launched this product. Make sense?
Yeah.
They talk about your specific product, and whoever reads it has several links. I mean, has a link in several places inside the article to go to Amazon, and that is your attribution link. Now, I think we kind of are the only ones doing this for Amazon sellers because it's the only CPC based model. I mean, you just pay for the clicks you get. You don't pay for the article being published. We have like a small setup fee, but that doesn't, it's irrelevant.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have any clicks, if you engage for an article and goes viral, you can go with it forever and ever until you want to. Maybe you can spend, I don't know, $100,000 if it goes viral. But at the same time, if it doesn't, because it happens, sometimes, just products aren't well seen, or I don't know, people just don't like it at that point. You don't pay because you don't get any clicks. So basically, it's something that I really think people should try just because of that because it's just
Okay,
success.
well, let's talk about. I think people understand, cost per click. Regardless,
Mhm.
it's kind of like an Amazon term too, but it's very,
Exactly.
common advertising term. But like my, cost per click is 50 cents, whether it's $5. Kind of, that's not the important part. The important part is almost like maybe the conversion. So I'm just wondering, like, you've done a lot of these now. Is it kind of standard? Like how many conversions somebody gets per click, or it you've seen situations where somebody might get a lot of clicks but no conversions because their listing is not that great or something, or is there an average, conversion rate on these clicks? Because that's where it becomes more important, is not how much you pay for the click, but how far that click, gets you.
Well, yes and no. uh, the answer to your
Uh-huh.
question, yes and no. So no is because I don't consider the conversion is the most important part for this strategy.
Really?
Yes.
Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to sell units. I'm just giving you a hard
No,
time, but go ahead and argue
no,
with me so
no,
we
no,
can
you're
get
not.
this out.
It's okay. So the whole strategy with the press, it's not to sell a huge amount of units or a large amount of units in a couple of days or in 2 weeks and then measure your conversions versus the cost per click and see if you got profitable or not. It kind of doesn't work that way. And I don't think any type of marketing or press works that way because the non-tangible part, as I call it, of from all this is way higher. Example: last week, 1,000 clicks. It was one day. A very well-known publisher, very good product, very good established listing, good seller. 1,000 clicks one day. 350 add to carts. 170 sales.
Okay.
Explicit numbers. Okay, so this can happen for, you might say that's a good conversion on top of everything else you have,
Sure.
right? In terms of profitability, well, it's here and there. It depends on each how they calculate their budget to see. But in my opinion, um, as a seller too, because I've done marketing outside as well, I wouldn't do that just to measure the conversion. I would do it because people see the product. There are tens of thousands of people reading that article without clicking, and sometimes maybe 2 months from now when you're gonna do another one, or I don't know, influencer post or YouTube video or TikTok, they were, hey, I think I saw this, I read about this on somewhere a couple of months ago, maybe I'll try it now, stuff like that. I know it's difficult to measure the exact ROI, and this is the hardest thing to explain to Amazon sellers because we are used to numbers. We need to measure ROI, conversion, all kind of that stuff. But when we're talking about press, when we're talking about this kind of model, it's difficult, and we're trying to do a kind of CPA model, but it's still far away. With this being said, so um, conversion is one thing, yes, but the exposure, the brand awareness, people reading about your product, and the fact that you can use those screenshots uh, with that product on your listing, on your social media, or you can get a lot of content out of that. That's another thing. And also, even if the campaign works, even if it doesn't work, let's say the budget ends or the time ends, because we have these two measures. Okay, the article doesn't come down, it stays there. And if you will check your attribution, I mean, we've had cases when months after attribution dashboard was reporting clicks, those were for free. Some of them even got sales, but it's just another way of getting your product out there. For a product, for a well established brand, or for an old product, let's say like coffin shell, for example, may or may not be a good idea. But when you're considering launching a new product to an existing brand, that would be the place that this actually has the most value. This is from my experience. It's been almost a year since we've started the first tests with this.
Have you done it on any of your products?
Yes, I have. Yes, on on my one of the sport brands. Um, I don't. I think I told you back then. So it was a product that it was out of stock.
If you tell me something 3 days ago, I'm going to forget it. So you definitely have to tell me again.
I just remembered. So completely out of stock for a couple of months. It was a good selling product, like expensive, like in the $40 price range. We were selling.
Wait, hold on. So out of stock, meaning that the campaign you did was so successful, it made you
No,
sell out,
no,
or
no, no.
what are you saying?
So when I started the campaign, the
Uh-huh.
article, before that, the product was out of stock. So I had no PPC running on it, no.
Oh, okay, okay. So
And
this was kind of like your way to give it a jump start when you
exactly.
went back into stock. Okay, I got you now. Go ahead, continue.
Exactly. And the budget I did was the middle one, because those were the publishers were. So a $6,000. It went for, I don't know, 40-ish days. It was summer. It's not the best time of the year for this product, but overall, I got the first day, I think I got around 70 or 80 sales, and it was definitely out of that article because I had no PPC, no ranks, didn't do
Wow.
anything else. It slowed down. So it slowed down. Then I got sales, and we got back to, I don't know, 10, 15 a day, which was a regular amount of sales for that time of the year for that product, without doing anything else.
Now, what kind of how are you linking to the listing? Is it using an attribution link or an affiliate link, or what kind of link are you using?
Attribution.
So then on those ones, did you get your brand referral bonus from Amazon on that? Did you ever check that?
I did check that, and just some of those were reported. We've had issues before with attribution not reported. The clicks were there, so everything was there. What I saw on my end of counting was there in attribution in terms of clicks or page views and everything. The sales weren't there though, and I know for a fact that the sales had to be from there because I didn't do anything else with that listing and I had no ranks. So that's
So
why I
so so
said
you're saying that you didn't get brand
I did
referral
not.
bonus.
I did not.
Interesting.
But some other people, I mean, other people do.
Yeah.
Brand attribution doesn't work always the right
Okay.
way. It's still in beta, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Um all right, cool. So let's just for last part, last couple minutes here, do some strategies. And the way we do it now is not just TST, 30-second tip, because people kept not sticking to 30-second, but it's TST or SST, 60-second tip. So 30 to 60-second tips. Why don't you think of your two best possible ones that you could give us about ranking or launching or PPC or anything at all? And let's close the episode with these two.
It's always such a hard one.
Like, you've only been on this podcast 17 times, and you should have
Yeah,
known what's coming. So you could have
I
prepared
know.
yourself.
But it was very hard to prepare this. So, for the most experienced of our listeners, of your listeners,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many of them are familiar with a website called AmazonScience.com. Are you familiar with that?
I have never heard of that. No.
Okay, so that's a website where Amazon actually posts things about how their algorithm works, how their KPI, how they measure KPIs, how they do stuff internally. The problem is it's very technical. It's science.amazon.com or amazon.science.com, one of those.
Uh-huh.
It's very technical. I am part of a mastermind that with some very technical people that actually took some articles out of there and discovered some very interesting things about ranking, about launching products, about things that they actually tell you how to do it. The problem is you need to understand their language
Hmm.
in those articles. But besides that, even if you don't, the website has very interesting advanced Amazon news, and it's good to have it there in the back of your head whenever I don't know, you're on a long flight or something like that. That's one thing. Um, I still have to go, right?
Yep.
Like
One
30
more.
seconds.
That's a good one. I want-
Um, okay, so Google search volume versus Amazon search volume. I don't have an actual. Oh, and I just remembered the third one. So now I have a
well,
backup.
I'll take three. I'll take three. Yep.
Okay, so Google search volume, Amazon search volume. I don't have the final answer yet, but I'm working for one of the brands I want to launch a new brand next year, and I'm looking at um Amazon search volume in some niches and or on some keywords actually. So keywords and Google search volume. You might find that on some keywords the Google search volume is very high, which means it's trendy, and on Amazon it's not that high or even almost inexistent. For me, that thing is very valuable in doing product research, and I think if Google has it, Amazon will have it too. So maybe a good niche to do products in. I don't know if you
Yeah, so
agree.
guys, that's something that you can also check in Helium 10 now. A lot of people don't realize this. Before, you have to go to Trendster to see the Google Trends. But now anywhere where you see search volume in Helium 10, you click that graph, which traditionally would show you the history of the search volume on Amazon, but it also now shows you the history of search volume on Walmart and the history of Google Trends, for Google. So maybe you see something that's like, this is like 100 search volume, on Amazon, so this is not worth it. But then you click on that and you might see something, different on Google or Walmart. That might be something to look at. It's interesting. I haven't heard that strategy. Like it. What else you got for us?
Amazon posts. I'm this close of having a actual measurable technique of using Amazon posts for keyword ranking. I've done
Okay.
so many tests, and you cannot track basically anything with Amazon posts. You don't know whether it's gonna
Hmm.
get clicks or views or whatever because they don't have any specific algorithm. But in a nutshell, what has proved to be working so far is so for the posts that get a decent amount um, of views,
Uh-huh.
I duplicate those, slightly change the image because you're not allowed to post it twice,
Okay.
just slight changes, and in the caption should be a keyword that you're not it has to be indexed, but if it's not ranked, if it's not in the top 300, it can definitely boost your ranking if the duplicated post has views. Make sense? So you make a post, it has views, just duplicate that one, try to put a keyword in the caption that you're not ranked
You
for,
mean the same image?
the same image slightly change, I don't know, just
Yeah.
mirror it,
Is there?
or
Is there? I don't. I'm not the one who does the Amazon post. Shivali and Carrie do that on our account. But is there a duplicate button? Like, you just duplicate it, or when you say duplicate, you just mean, hey, upload from scratch the
upload
same
from
post.
scratch, upload
Okay.
from
Okay.
scratch.
Interesting. All right. Well, hey, I like these are some of the best that we've had. So that you did you were trying to be humble. You pretend that you didn't have this plan. You did have it planned. So I like it. All right. So, Alina, how can people find you on the interwebs? Like, are both of your companies inside of our hub, or only one of them? or
They're both inside the hub. Yes. Press
all right,
X.
guys. So hub.helium10.com and search for either AZ rank, no spaces, right?
No, no space. AZ
No
rank.
spaces, or press X
Press X.
in hub.helium10.com. And any other way they can find you out there?
Just the regular ways: Instagram, Facebook with my name, and our website, azrank.com, pressx.live. Just or just Google.
All right.
We're on Google.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here. Let's do some more
Before-
testing. I've done more testing and experiments with you and your companies than probably anyone else out there, any other company out there, because I just love testing. And we haven't done any big, like we did that Etsy test last week that worked,
Yeah.
but let's do something interesting with Project X or Project 5K so we can tell people about it.